Hi, everybody, and welcome. It's Melanie here again. If you haven't already watched some of the other videos on my channel, go ahead and enjoy yourself. Watch some of those videos so you can get familiar with me. And also, my sister and I have a podcast, so watch some of those episodes. And my life is an open book. Anything you want to know about me, then leave me a comment, and we can have a dialogue. So, with that being said, I want to show you all my book that's on Amazon. Oh my gosh, this thing is messing up. Okay, so is let me get a good angle. Diamonds in the Rough, a quick guide to dating and whoa, I disappeared now. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. I'm getting used. I'm sorry for these technical difficulties, but this is the book. Okay, that's the book. So the book is about dating and relationships. I wrote it because I was noticing a lot of my children were having a very difficult time with dating, and I started to sound like a broken record. Just giving out advice. My children, my friends. Some of my friends were going through some horrible situations, and I was always the person that was giving out the advice. So I'm like, you know what? Everything that I'm saying on a day to day basis, I'm just going to put it in a book. I'm going to put it in a book, and it's been helpful. It's been well received by a lot of people, by the people that have read it, and I've done support groups, women's groups with this book, and I plan to do even more in the future. I want to get into the prison system with my book and talk to the women because I think it'll be it's a great tool for therapy, for group therapy situations. So I'm just going to get right into it. So one of the more important topics that I wrote about is having background checks done. When you're meeting a person, you just getting to talk in the talking stage or whatever, do a background check. It's not hard. I mean, I know a lot of people might not know what that entails. So for a lot of states, it's public record, like child support cases, civil cases, domestic violence cases. You can look up whatever county you're in, state, and you can see the court records and what that person is going back and forth to court for. Also, a lot of arrests are public record. So if you Google that person, a lot of stuff can pop up if you have the information as to what state that person lives in or what states the person has lived in previously. Then you can pull up a lot of information. You'd be surprised at the information you can find out. A lot of times, if you just take a few minutes just to do a simple background checks, that would deter you from getting involved with somebody that could possibly do damage to you and your family. Don't you think it's important to do a background check on somebody that can possibly be coming into your house and you're letting into your life around you and your children? I think it's very important. You can't just go with the flow and say, oh, he looks nice or she looks nice. They seem like a nice person. Absolutely not. There's too much at stake, and you can't play with your life or the lives of your children and the lives of your family. It's time out for playing games. That's how I talk to my kids. Time out for playing games. You don't have time for this. Do the background check. If you see the person has, well, I'm just going to say men, for instance, because that's the tone that I wrote this book in. If you see the man has 10 cases for child support, DNA test, child support, what is that telling you? That's painting a picture right there. All 10 of the children wound up to be his. He's on child support for these kids. What is that telling you? Is that a red flag for you, or is that a deal breaker, or is that something that you want to deal with? If you know this information ahead of time, you can be prepared to run in the opposite direction, hopefully, Hopefully you're running in the opposite direction, okay? Because who really wants to deal with somebody with all of that going on? Not too many people I know. Baby mama drama, child support issues is showing that 9 times out of 10 he's irresponsible. He doesn't practice safe sex, obviously. You know, if he's in court that many times, it's just little things you can free yourself from the drama, okay? Domestic violence cases, same thing. You see, this man has been in domestic violence court for 5 or 6 different females, but he's telling you, oh, we just got into it. She put her hands on me, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. That's another red flag. I wrote about red flags in my book too. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't ignore them. Of course, the person is going to paint the best picture of himself that he can. He's going to try to clean it up and make it look as good as possible. But how many times are you in domestic violence court with different females, and you're saying all the time that it's not your fault, or she made this happen? It's crazy for you to go behind all of that with this information beforehand and like, oh, he's nice, he got a nice job, he's good to me. But for how long? How long is he gonna be good to you? Until he knock you upside your head, black your eye, drag you down a flight of stairs? What I mean, come on now, let's just be for real. Just be for real. If he has a history of this, it's not gonna stop overnight. It's not gonna go away. You're not going to be the woman that miraculously makes him change. So if you have this knowledge beforehand, go ahead on and go on about your business and leave him in the dust. Okay. Okay. Because I mean, like I said, the news is not lying. Me personally, I'm getting tired of seeing these, the news, and oh, so and so, he beat her, he shot her, he, killed the kids. And I'm like, come on. And then they tell you, well, he had previous arrests 4 or 5 different times for, doing this before, or beating on women before. It's just, once the cycle starts, very rarely does the man stop, okay? Very rarely. So if you have the opportunity to arm yourself with the information beforehand, please take heed to that information. Take heed to the information so you don't have to go through unnecessary drama, unnecessary abuse, unnecessary situations with unstable people who you can't fix. You cannot be the fixer. That's also a chapter in my book. You weren't born to be the fixer for somebody who needs therapy somewhere. Why you think you're gonna be the fixer? If he's, had problems with Susie, Bonita, Keisha, Wanda, everybody else, but he gonna meet you and this is where the buck stops and he's gonna be the perfect man. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. I don't care how good they look. He could be the most handsome man walking around ever. He can have the best job. I mean, he can be so nice and kind and sweet until he's not. Okay? He could be spending all kind of money on you, paying your bills. But is it all worth it when he's going to make you lose everything in the end? When he's going to strip you down to absolutely nothing. Is it worth it? Is the few months, of him spending lavishly on you, is that really worth it? Of you having to rebuild your life from nothing after he's taken everything from you, including your self-esteem. Is it worth it? Those are some things that you really have to think about. What is it that you value? What is it that you value? Do you value yourself, your life, your children? How is your self-esteem? What do you think about yourself? Those are all questions that you have to ask yourself and get to the root of the issue why you would let someone into your life that you know good and well shouldn't be. Yes, I've been through my share of domestic violence situations. That's why I can speak on it. I have some insight. Learn from me, learn from my mistakes, and you don't have to make them. You don't have to make them. Yeah, I've had my fair share, and I've definitely learned. Don't get yourself into a situation that is horribly hard to get out of. You know, it's easy to get into the situations, and it's hard to get out of because a lot of these men are crazy. They're crazy. And once they see you're trying to get away, that's when they really dig in. Start buying gifts. I'm sorry, the apologizing for the erratic and ridiculous behavior, apologize for the abuse, buying gifts, expensive gifts too, paying bills. I mean, just, they'll just throw it all out there when they feel like you're about to leave. But why let it get that far when you could just nip it in the bud once you first find out that these are some red flags in the beginning and you should just run as fast as your feet can carry you. Don't sit and entertain the excuses as to why, he has 5 domestic violence cases and 10 baby mamas and, things like that. Don't sit and entertain the excuses because it's going to sound good. It's going to sound good. He's going to fix it up real good. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. So, with that, I have a lot more. I could talk about this forever. But if you have not gotten my book already, grab it. And I'm also thinking about starting like a Zoom group so we can discuss, personally, like a Zoom book club, and we can discuss these issues that's in the book, and you can gain strength through hearing about my stories, and it's like a support group. So let me know if that's something that you all would be interested in. I'm here for it, and we'll see what's next. So, like I said, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to hear more, here we go again with the background disappearing. If you want to hear more about this book, grab the book off of Amazon. Grab it off of Amazon, and yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in being in a support group on Zoom, and I'll figure out the details if I get enough interest. All right, you all have a blessed day. Be safe and remember to do background checks. All right, have a blessed day.